Hi everyone, this is Joseph from Forest Tech Reviews, aka your favorite Cajun tech reviewer, back with another video. Today's video, yes, I want to give you an update on my experiences with the Oppo Find N2 for the last 3 days. But before I get into this video, check this out. Okay everyone, so I'm back with another video today. Today's video, yes, I want to go over my experiences with the Oppo Find N2, go over some problems I've been having with it, also discuss some things I dislike about the phone, but also discuss about everything I do like about the phone. Like I said, I've been using it for about 3 days. At the time of this video, it's probably about 3.5 days. Something came up yesterday that was a little frustrating. There are some workarounds around it, which I'm gonna get into. So I'm gonna go over the things I dislike about it, let y'all know some of the issues that I'm having. That way, if you're planning on trying to pick this phone up, at least you know, yes, you're gonna have some problems with this phone, especially if you live in the US, because it's not, made for the US. So there's a lot of things that you have to do different when you get these phones to get your notifications and everything else working on here properly. But you do have a lot of customization on here too. So let's get into some of the issues. The first issue, a lot of people might complain about this. For me, it's not that big of a deal, but you do not have wireless charging on this phone. They took it away for some reason. The Find N had it, but they do not have wireless charging on here. No water resistance, so if that is a deal breaker for you, then you don't want to pick up this phone, because those two things are missing with the Oppo Find N2. For me, that I don't go swimming with my phones. I don't try to go out in the rain. I don't really use water around them too much, so not that big of a deal. I don't really use wireless charging in any of my phones. The only time I do wireless charging is when I'm doing case videos. That's the only time I really use it. But those are the two things there. Now, another issue I'm having, it's not because of the phone, it's not because of the watch, it's because of the software not matching up, is I cannot pair my Galaxy my Galaxy Watch 5 Pro to this phone. I have tried everything. I looked on Reddit, I looked on XDA, and for whatever reason, I cannot get my Galaxy Watch or even the Pixel Watch to pair with this phone and work correctly. It will not do it. I did get my Fitbit to work a little bit, the Versa 2, but even that has some issues with it. So if you need a smartwatch, if that's what you live by, then this might be a problem. Hopefully they will send updates, or someone will come up with a great workaround. And if you know a workaround, let me know. I tried some Galaxy Watch 4 programs and trying to download it from, Samsung Health. None of that actually worked for me. So that's one of the issues that I've been having right now. The other issue that I have is with the group messaging, not group messaging, the regular messaging with Google Messages. So with Google Messages, if you are not on RCS, basically means if you're not Android phone, I can't individually text you without making it an MMS, which is pretty crazy. I actually have to go into the default app and message people that way. So here's my son, without giving out phone numbers or anything. If I try to say, hey, good morning or something, it will ask me to send a payment to verify it. I've tried many workarounds with that, and so far there's none. The only workaround is basically I have to make the default app the default messaging app the default app. Now I can group text anything I do MMS. I can group chat perfectly fine. Anyone can see it. It works great. Or if I send a GIF or GIF, whatever y'all want, however you pronounce it, or I can send it like this too, by one word. So if I say hi, it will work perfectly fine. So yeah, if I say yeah, it will work perfectly fine. If I say no, it works fine too. So I've been doing that. I've been trying, look on that. Shout out to Gigi, she noticed it too. So I can group text all day long. Before I couldn't group text. on the Find N, and now I can, and now on this one I can't individually text. They will be a workaround. I know they will be. You can just use the default app and text people on iPhones and everything else. If they have an Android phone, it works perfectly fine. As you can tell, let me go back to messages. This is a girl that I work with, and I can text her perfectly fine. And she gets it too, and no issues going through. So it's definitely an RCS problem to iPhone. You know, iPhone's always difficult. For whatever reason, iPhones are always difficult. Those are the major issues that I have with this phone so far. Nothing that I consider a deal breaker, but I wanted to present this in a video so y'all know if you plan on trying to pick this up and you live in the US, maybe even in UK, these are some of the issues that you may have in here. The bloatware on here is kind of crazy too. I might go into ADB or ABD commands and disable some of these bloatware. Like they have their own little assistant app, Breno or whatever. I might disable that thing because it pops up crazy things like y'all just seen. All right, let's keep this video going. Those was the things I dislike about it. Now we're going to talk about the things I like about this Oppo Find N2. First thing you got to bring up is the form factor. I love the size of this phone compared to like the Z Fold 4. The compactness of this phone is great. Look at that hinge too. I love what they do where there's no gap there. They worked on the hinge. They have less components in there, which makes the phone overall lighter weight too. So that's a great thing. Compared to the Find N1, I think it's like a few grams. And it makes a big difference. This phone does not feel as brick, you know, as the N1 did. So the overall build is great. We're going to talk about the cameras too on here. The dual speakers we'll talk about. So the overall build is one. The inner display or outer display right here, I guess you can call it a covered display, is a perfect size. I love how you can use it separate from the main screen, and it works out great. It's actually a great size for everything. Watching YouTube, TikToks, texting on here. You don't have issues where you have with the Z Fold 4 where you want to just open the display and text because the text is so small. So on here, it's actually really great size. So I love that. I love the covered display. I love the size of it. But when you open it up, oh, look at that. Look at that screen. It is a beautiful display. Now, some of the apps don't, you know, go all the way through. If you like, I have Instagram and I have it full screen too. Whoa, I don't know what that was. But on here, you can just see how it looks a little bit weird. But it's better than having just like the 16:4. Some of my banking apps it actually makes you rotate your screen, which is okay. YouTube, when you bring up YouTube, it looks great like this. But when you watch a video, let me go into the video. I'm going to go into history. Let's watch Mr. Jay Williams.
And the 14 Plus. Now,
so this is full screen. They still have a bar. Now, if I do this, I can zoom in, but I'm missing half the video. So you still have bars on top and bottom. Even if I rotate it, you still have the bar. So it is what it is. Now, the speakers
same experience that I've gotten on the 14 Pro when I had it.
Sound great.
So I got rid of the 14 Pro Max and the 14 Pro, and I closed out 2022 with the 13 Pro.
The speakers sound great, as you can tell there. No problems with the speaker on this phone, but that display is great. Also, the software on here, I'm really enjoying the software. You can multitask by just doing this. And if I bring up Twitter, you have Twitter and you have Facebook. The only thing you can't do on here is like a third app. I can't put another app on there, so it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I don't have any other word for it. Now, the display gets bright outside too, especially if you put on auto brightness. Now, with the software too, you do have like a taskbar down here. It keeps up your recent apps. So say if I even go to Google, it will go down there too. So you do have like a recent app. It's not as extensive or as good as say the Z Fold 4 with Android 12 on there. 12L or 13L, whatever you want to call it. I think it's 13. But you have it there. I mean, I have Facebook, I have Twitter on there, and it saves it too. So if I go back, I can have it there. So the software has been good. It has a little hiccup because it's a Chinese variant, but overall the software has been good on here. The cameras, I did a camera test. I will have the links in there. That way you can check out the cameras on this phone. The cameras compared to the N1 is totally night and day. Also, if you had the Find N1, the experience with Android 13 and ColorOS 13 has been great too. Not bad at all. Now, on this Breno thing again, like I said, it keeps on popping up. I might disable that, you know, through the website. You probably can disable it. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up the phone too much. But overall, this has, you know, has been a great experience. The software, very similar to, say, the Z Fold 4. You even have a pen, which I don't have access to yet. I might get it really soon. Again, customization on here. If I get a certain text, it will ring a different ringtone. If I get a notification from Twitter, it has a different ringtone. So you can go in there and set that up too, which is actually pretty cool. The overall speeds I'm getting on here has been good. I'm going to do a separate video, so watch out for that video. I'm going to put this against the Z Fold 4 also in a camera comparison. Let's talk about battery life. Battery life has been pretty good. Right now I'm at like 13%, but I've been using the cameras a lot. Once I get through the camera test, I probably will get about a day and a half to 2 days of battery life, probably, if not more. I will update y'all in like a week or two and let y'all know, you know, the true battery life. But once I'm trying this phone out, doing the camera test, the cameras will burn out the battery more than just using it like an everyday phone. But the apps are good on here. Like I said, you have some issues with customization, like my ESPN app. You can see how that opens up. Shout out to LSU playing Purdue. I think Drew Brees is coaching. So that opens like that. I can make it full screen if you wanted to. So you have some issues with the apps not being optimized. Let's talk about the price of this phone too. You can get this from GigsTop, and it's what, $14.99 for the 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. So it's actually what, $400 cheaper than say the Z Fold 4, even though hopefully you didn't pay $1,800 for the Z Fold 4. Hopefully you have some type of trade-in. So the price of this is great. Overall build is great. Speakers are good. Cameras are improved a lot. Overall software experience is good. Texting on here, like I said, I can group text all the time. It's individual text is the problem. Speakers are good. So overall, the overall experience with the phone for the last 3 days have been really good on here. Yes, is it perfect? No. No phone is really perfect, but do your homework. Stay tuned to the channel. Like I said, I'm going to do a speed test on here so that way we can see what type of speeds I'm getting. I am on T-Mobile. Y'all let me know what other videos y'all want to see. I might go into the software a little bit more too so we can get a deep dive in that, maybe even the camera settings too. I don't know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so for more coverage on the Oppo Find N2. Peace out. Y'all have a great day.